guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you ever so much for clicking on this video. So today's video is going to be about acrylic application. So I'm just going to show you what I do to my nails, how I prep them, and then really focusing on the acrylic application at the end. So as you can see, I'm just taking my cuticle tool. This is the same one I use all the time, and I'm just pushing back all of my cuticles. I did include my right hand today. I know that when I'm watching videos, I do really like to see the right hand application, which is my dominant hand, so it is a bit difficult for me, but I thought I'd include that to show you what I do to help myself out. So I do have lifting on my little finger on my right hand. That's from a previous damage that was done from a previous product, but that is going. So I'm now taking my Melody Susie efile. I saw this on a video, I think it was Natalie from Get Nailed 32. She recommended it, so I thought I'd try it out, and it is actually really good. I love the fact it's rechargeable, and the LED screen. Mine's a little bit older than this one, so it didn't have an LED screen, so I'm really enjoying that. As you can see, it's on about a 4 or 5. It's really slow, and I'm not putting any pressure on at all. I'm just going around that cuticles from the right to the left, just making sure I get up any dead skin, anything like that. You really don't want to put any sort of pressure on the nails, because otherwise you can cause little indents. So I'm just going to do that on my left and right hand, and then I'm going to go ahead and start doing the rest of my prep. So once I've finished all of the e-file work, I then go on to get my 240 grit file. This is from Pure Nails UK. I get these from my local nail supply store. Mine is Hairways here in Essex, but I'm pretty sure you can get them online. You can get them from anywhere. I don't use anything lower than a 240 grit. I think 240 is perfectly fine. As you can see, I'm just going right around those cuticles and then going on to the rest of the nail, also taking down sort of like any unwanted length. You are only taking off the surface shine with the nails. You don't want to put any pressure on them. We're not taking off layers of nail plate. We are just making sure there is no longer any shiny bits on the nail. So you just want to be really careful, really make sure that you've got every single last bit. It might help to go in with some sort of like dehydrator. I use Young Nail Swipe just to make sure that I have got absolutely everything. I'm really sorry if it seems like I'm going off sort of like the focus of the center of the camera. It's really difficult to film yourself whilst doing a full set of nails. Obviously we've been in lockdown for about 4 months almost, so I haven't really done any acrylics on myself. I've been mainly really practicing on press-ons and stuff like that. And if you do want to order any press-ons from me, my Instagram page will be linked down below. It's just the Nail Guru Limited. So I'm just dusting off that hand, again just making sure that I've got every last bit and then going back in if I haven't. Really making sure around that cuticle especially, because that's where you can get most of the lifting. and then I'm going on to my right hand. My right hand is massively harder. So many people make it look so easy. I really am not one of those people. I really struggle with my right hand sometimes, especially when I've not done them in a while. So for this, I do just really take my time. There is no rush. Obviously, foundation is key, and for foundation you need a really good prep. So I would rather take my time than rush it and have lifting. So this is what I do. I don't have lifting, and my nails last about 2 to 3 weeks. I really change my nails a lot of the time, but if I was to leave them, they would last about 2 to 3 weeks. As you can see, I'm sort of going one nail at a time just to really make sure that I have got every bit of that surface shine off the nail. Again, really not going that hard, just as light as possible, taking off any sort of surface shine, and then making sure that I've got all the dead skin off the nail as well. So after that, you're just going to dust them off, and then I'm going to go onto my prep. So after going in with my straight edge nail clipper to just cut the sides of the nails off to create a coffin shape, I'm just going in with my 100 grit file. I always use a straight edge nail clipper because it does make it really quick. It also cuts the filing time in half, so it's obviously working smarter and not harder, making sure that you can get some little time saving tips here and there. Once I've started filing, I always make sure the file's at a 90-degree angle on the sidewalls and on the free edge, making sure that it's really nice, crisp, straight lines. As you can see, I'm just moving the camera to make it a little bit easier for you to see. Again, apologies that I was out of shot for a little bit of that. It's really difficult to keep an eye on the camera and the nails, but I will get better at it, I promise. So here I'm just making sure, trying to get any sort of comfortable position so that I can file the nails into shape. I'm also blending over that tip. I'm not filing the natural nail, purely the nail tip itself, where the nail and the tip meet, just to make it less noticeable when we go to apply the acrylic. So if you used clear acrylic over these, you wouldn't notice that demarcation line where the glue and the tip is. So it's just blending it a little bit more to make it a little bit more natural. So I'm really going in any way that my hand feels comfortable at this point, because it is quite difficult to get your hands in a comfortable position when you're doing your own nails. Obviously when you're doing a client's it is a lot different, but the same things would apply. So blending that tip in, making sure that the file is at a 90-degree angle on those sidewalls and at that free edge, making sure that the lines are really nice and straight. I really like a coffin shape. I don't really like ballerina. I don't like the way it curves, but that's my personal preference. If you would like me to see do different nail shapes like stiletto or ballerina, I can make a video on that. So just leave a comment down below and I'll get that filmed for you. On my right hand, the angle is a bit different. It is a bit harder. I mainly move my finger more than the file because that's what is easier to do. So I always move my hand more than the file, making sure that all the nails are nice and straight at the same time. So for the right hand, always move your fingers, keep the files sort of in a really sturdy position, make sure your arm is on your desk and that it's not going to move anywhere. I try and move the file sometimes, but moving the hand is a lot easier from time to time. And then again, just going up and down completely straight from 90-degree angle on that free edge, and I'm going to do that for the rest of the nails. So guys, I'm just going in with my OPI Bond-Aid. This is my dehydrator. I've used this pretty much ever since I started doing nails, I think. It was just something that I picked up off Amazon and I really like it. It's just done me really well in my career. And I'm going in with 1 coat of that all over the nails, and then I go in with my Young Nails Protein Bond. I use mainly Young Nails for my acrylic system. They're the only product I use for that, and then I use Magpie Beauty for my gel polish. I do really want to try out Young Nails gel colours though, because they look really, really good. So I'm just going in, sorting everything out, getting my monomer out. This is a monomer pot from, I think, CJP. It's really good. I always cover it in tin foil because it's a cork lid, so to stop it from expanding from any liquid or sort of condensation or anything, I cover it in foil and it really helps. Going in with 2 coats of Protein Bond over my nails. This really helps with any lifting. I barely get lifting on my clients unless they're really heavy-handed or they have quite a hands-on job, but I never get lifting on my nails and I use this every single time. So I go in with 2 coats of that, and then I start with my acrylic application. You'll see me first burp my brush. That's literally where I just push my brush down in the monomer pot, getting all the air bubbles out of it. I do go in with Cover Pink today. It's such a gorgeous colour. It's one of my favourites, and I love it for using it under any sort of like gel polish. If I'm not encapsulating anything, I'll just use Cover Pink because I use clear quite a lot, so I'd rather save that for designs and sort of like encapsulating glitter and doing ombres and stuff like that. And you'll see me in a minute wipe my brush off. So I always wipe my brush off at the start, getting any old monomer out of that brush, any old product, and going in with Cover Pink, tapping it on the side, just making sure that everything's nice and level and everything's mixed up. So I'm wiping my brush off completely on one side, going in at quite a high angle to get just a little bit of a product. You want a medium-sized bead at this point because I'm just putting that on the where the natural nail and the tip meet. This is going to be my first bead for this nail. I'm not brushing it down, I'm sort of patting it down with the belly of my brush. Really light movements. You do not need any sort of pressure at all. You just want to sort of pat it into place, make it really smooth. The less bumps and lumps I have now, the less filing I'm going to have to do in the long run. So it really is a time-saving trick. So just take your time, make sure it's really nice and smooth, and then you really don't have much filing. As you can see, this nail I only do 2, the rest of them I do 3 to 4 beads of acrylic. It just depends on how many I need. When I get to the cuticle area, I do really lightly pat it round. You only need to tap it sort of one to 3 times just to get it into that cuticle area, and then you leave it alone. You don't need to touch it after that. You can sort of see the apex there. That it doesn't need to be massive. They don't need to be crazy thick. I say thicker, just as thick as a debit card, maybe a little bit thicker. Obviously, the longer the nail, the higher the apex needs to be. So again, wiping my brush off, putting that first bead of acrylic where the natural nail and the tip meet. I always like to leave the product for a couple of seconds. You can't really tell in this video because I have sped it up quite a bit, because it is about 45 minutes long. So make sure you've got a drink and a snack handy because you're going to need it. The second bead, after patting that first one down, going in just before the cuticle area, making sure that it's all nice and smooth and all nice and blended. Look at how much I'm also wiping off my brush. I wipe it off pretty much after every turn, getting some more product on my brush and going in at the tip because it needed a little bit more. So you really don't have to stick to 3-ball method or 4-ball method or whatever you do. It's literally as many as you need, as many as it takes you. There is no rush. The more time you take, the better it's going to be. And also just practice, practice, practice. I know that's a really cliche thing to say, but it does. It's what's helped me get to where I am today. So I'm just doing that and really feathering it down. I'm not pushing the product at all. Once it is in the cuticle, you sort of leave it alone, and then going on to the next nail, wiping off any product that I've got on my brush as I go along, taking off any excess liquid, and then going on to the next nail before doing my right hand. So as you can see, I added quite a lot to this nail, just really making sure that it's all nice and even and all nice and smooth. So again, as I say, I don't always use 3 balls. I use as many as it takes me. I haven't done acrylics in a while, so I am still a little bit rusty. So I'm gonna stop talking now and I really hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Also, I just want to quickly mention thank you to the 1,000 followers I have on my Instagram. For me as a small business, that is such a massive achievement. So I do just really want to thank every single one of you, because you really have helped me kick my career off this year, even in the middle of a pandemic. So it's just mind-blowing that 1,000 people like my page, which is insane. All of my social media will be linked down below if you want to order any press-ons, or if you just want to see my work, or DM me if you have any questions, then please feel free. I'm always here to answer and help as much as I can. So if you do like this video, please don't forget to give it a like and a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you're new here, my name's Ashley. I'm the owner of The Nail Guru, and I have been a nail tech for 2.5 years now. 1.5 years coming up to 2. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. So yeah, I'm going to leave you to it, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know any sort of other videos that you want to see. I was thinking of doing like a room tour. I work from a really small room, so I don't know whether any of you want to see that, where I utilise the space a little bit, how I do it, because I mean I literally work from a box room, so I think it's quite interesting to see. So let me know if you want me to do that. And yeah, I hope you're all staying safe and well, and I will see you in the next video.